Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Varsity Esports and STEM League. My name is Podslim. Over there on the other side of the casting booth is my man Orbital, and we got some exciting Rocket League action coming at y'all today. Orbital, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Excited to be here. Excited to try and throw down a little bit because it's been an interesting week for me, but more so for these players. It's amazing that they're now moving into their championship brackets, and I think that is honestly one of the best highlights to go ahead and end your school year.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the way that you want to finish out, and what better way than winning an entire Rocket League tournament? We got some exciting teams, some exciting players, and some epic competition that we are going to get started here in a few minutes. And all of these matches, we're looking forward to them because there's a lot on the line. There's a lot that you want to, just as you said, you want to end your school year with this exciting, chance at playing at something bigger. So,
It's one of those things that I think just about any, even if we're talking about traditional sports and everything, it's a great way to end your year. And you already made
yeah.
it this far. You played a whole regular season. You were already kind of fighting your way through that. You made it
Hmm.
into the playoffs, the single elimination, double elimination, either way, depending on which leagues you go for.
Sure.
And you are now in what can be considered the step before the fight for the throne. We are now looking at the
Hmm.
semifinals for some of these players, and that puts a lot of weight on them. So they want to win and they want to move on to that championship match.
Championship match is just barely out of their reach, and it's so incredibly close. But we're gonna be hopping into this game number one here shortly, and yeah, it's right there. You don't want to fall on your face at the end of the finish line. That is no worse feeling from a competitive player. I've been there. So many other players, I'm sure, know exactly what it's like to, play so well during the regular season, beat so many teams. Maybe you have some sad losses here and there, but all of it has culminated in where you are now. And what better way than to just finish the race? I mean, it's just two more. You don't want to psych yourself up. You don't want to, get in your own head about it. It's just two more series that you have to get through, and you can make it. But two series nonetheless. So
I mean, 2 series itself is very difficult. I mean, you talk about the level of competition. We got some amazing teams coming up here in the Guilford side of things. I believe we got Kearns Academy going up against, I think it was Western Guilford, is who we're going to be
yeah.
seeing here. And they're on the top side of the bracket. So as you can see right now, that'll be played up first. And then, of course, we'll be taking a look at the other side of the semifinals as well, which I think will be a lot of fun. But Kearns Academy, of course, coming in here with a bye straight out. So, of course, the
Hmm.
first seed, and they're going to be looking to try and take on this fourth seed who went ahead and beat Lucy Ragsdale as well.
Yeah, and it wasn't a clean series out of Western Guilford. It was 3-1. So they did
Mm-hmm.
drop a game to Lucy Ragsdale. So maybe Kearns can take that and move ahead with it and say, all right, they are not untouchable. They can bleed. And if it can bleed, you can kill it. And Kearns, I mean, coming in with that bye, whenever you are able to just completely skip a entire series, it feels good to just head in there, know you have that just solid advantage to yourself, but you still have to perform. You don't get any type of advantage in this series. So the
Mm-hmm.
momentum technically is in favor of West Guilford because they've already won a series. So what's better, to be up with momentum or to be fresh off of a bye and ready to fight? So
I will say, as much as I do agree, the momentum is nice. There is something to be said about a first seed coming in here and being
yeah.
like, "Hey, we deserve that bye." There's a reason that they were first seed. There's a reason they are here now, waiting for their opponent. And
Hmm.
I think overall, that is going to be the big test. You're going up against the first seed. It's a best of five, so you have a little bit of wiggle room. However, if you are looking at the side of Western Guilford, my eyes are going, "Hey, if you played them in the regular season, fine. If you didn't, you need to gain everything you can out of this game one because it's going to
Hmm.
be hard. And I hate saying it, there's a chance that you are not going to win that game one. So you need to draw everything out: who's hot, who's not,
Yeah.
what can you interfere
Yeah.
with against Kearns.
Yeah, picking up what your opponent is good at, how they like to rotate, how they like to play. Are they more aggressive? Are they more defensive? Do they like to have, ball control and everything like that? Looking at some of these at these Kearns players, I mean, you have Washed Freestyle, you have Valcox, and you have DeGay 44. This is going to be an interesting squad take up to take up the mantle into Western. So Western got Rare, they have Messy Mode and Solo. So Messy Mode alone, I mean, that name, if it's got Messi in it, you got to be somewhat good at this putting a ball in the back of the net.
Oh,
And we are starting this game a little bit into it already. We're not coming out fresh, and it does look like it's going to be a 3-1 lead in favor of Western.
yeah, I think the players are more than excited, getting ready, underway, and super quickly as well, which actually makes me really happy. Getting excited to play this game, ensure that game one will go one way or another. It is very entertaining for right now, though. As you mentioned, Western starting things off pretty dang strong is great in its own route. Of course, this does not mean that Kearns Academy is out of it yet. Of course, 3 minutes left, plenty of time to play for, but a lot of physicality, and I actually really like that out of the gate game number one going for those demos.
Gotta set the pace early, and if the other team knows that you mean business, then it only puts them on the edge of their seat as well. Can Messy Mode and the crew hold on to this 2-goal buffer? Because having 2 goals ahead is so much nicer than just one, because if it's just one, all of a sudden they get one and they're back in it. But having that extra buffer means you can still concede a goal and be just fine. But it does look like both teams are trading this possession back. Could be a shot potential here. Ooh.
A little bit of a punt away, which I really like. Good little bump, though. We are starting to see that physicality come right back in their face. And this is what I was wondering. When you see the early goals, I always say, hey, it might be a little bit of nerves, shaking off that dust. And you mentioned it before, having that momentum riding into the semifinals matchup. You're already warmed up. You're ready to go. Huge part about it, though, to me, is the early goals really signify that, hey, they dropped the ball. It's really the second half that I'm sitting there going, hey, you can make it up, and already watching those demos come through saying, hey, we are more than ready to scrap with the best of them makes me quite happy, and I want to see it continue to happen as still it is Western Guilford just feels quite in control of his ball right now.
It was a nice clear there out of Washed Freestyler. Try and get it out, but Guilford's still controlling the majority possession of this ball, and did center it right there, but no one was able to get it. A demo coming out. Slight numbers advantage for the time being, but can they make anything happen? The ball's so incredibly close. Barely doesn't go in. That would have certainly sealed the fate of Kearns, but a quick counterattack.
They're going to try to run it as quickly as possible. And keep in mind, this is just game number one. We have so many more to play for, but putting a statement here would be a great for the 4th seed roaming in to this Guilford's playoff. Let's have to see what they can do. Messy Mode going ahead and trying to center that ball. You only have a minute left to ensure this a dub. Watch Freestyle trying to do their best. Singular carry, dribble through the air, off the back. No one there to help receive. So it's still Kearns wondering how they're going to try and get this one right in front as well, or maybe just conceding this game overall.
Yeah, Kearns, your time bank is quickly bleeding, and if you concede another goal, like that was almost right there, it is certainly over. 30 seconds, you can do it. I've seen bigger comebacks, but it is definitely not what you want to put yourself in. 2-on-1 scenario here, and that is going to seal the fate of Kearns in this game number one. Down 4-1 with 20 seconds left. Orbital, I don't think there's any chance Kearns comes back this one.
Nope. They are enjoying this one so much, and I give a lot of respect their way. Whenever you come out against the first team, you're saying, hey, I'm going to get out. You put a statement on that one. You make sure that they know they're here to play. And if they do not step up the challenge like you were talking about, that ramping up of the skill, you can very quickly, even as a first seed, find yourself down 0-2 in a best of 5 and go, well, now we got to play with a tournament lives on the line. It's not a good spot to be in, so well done by Western. They're going to be looking to kind of ride this forward into the second.
Going up 1-0 does boost their morale quite a bit, being the underdogs in this series. And now it's up to Kearns. I mean, you gotta recoup. You gotta figure out, where did you go wrong? Where was the breakdown of your team? Because I mean, we entered a little bit late into this game, but a minute and a half had gone by, and there were 3 goals in favor of Western. 3 goals. Like it wasn't like you were down 1-0 or it was 1-1. No, you're down 3-1. You like after that point, there wasn't a single goal by Kearns. I mean, for 3.5 minutes, you were just kited around, and to make matters worse, they scored another goal on top of it and made it 4-1. So yeah, you're trying to fight back, and then in all of your offense, you forget about defense, and then it becomes just an unstoppable lead for Western. And hopefully, if you are a Western fan, you are anticipating that they continue this aggression into game number 2.
I think they can. I think they more than can, because if
Mhm.
you do that, if you calculate it, that's about what, a goal every 20, 30 seconds or so in the early stages,
Yeah.
and 20 in total, I would say, 20 seconds per 4 goals there.
Yeah.
And I am leaning into the factor that this was Kearns not really waking up to the challenge.
Mhm.
Whenever that signals to me, especially since we saw, I think, majority share of the goals coming from Messi mode, I am assuming, and count me wrong because I'm sure game 2 will say different, I think Messi mode just popped off in the early range. Very nice start. Hey, found some windows, individually was able to step up and get those goals, had 3 out of the 4 for the team. So, theory wise, I'm assuming Messi mode much more ready to play in that game number 1.
Yeah, and sometimes that's all it takes is just one player to get hot. And if you are able to get hot and stay hot, not much the enemy team can do against that. But we are going to hop into game number 2 and see if Kearns can even out this series. It is a best of 5, so even if they lose this next game, they are not just out of it. Being down 2-0 in the series would definitely hurt, but it is not the end of the world if you are Kearns. They definitely want to even out this series, and hopefully, if you once again, if you are a Western fan, hopefully you can push it one game away from being sent to that finals. And almost an early goal right off the bat again.
I'm liking this. We are seeing the all-out aggression come down here, and you're going to have to see the likes of Kearns really step up. You're going to start seeing them try and take that ball for themselves, just like this Wash trying to get in the way. And what a bump! A singular play to start things off. Wash freestyles their way to a first goal for their team. Look at that. You're defending your own shot.
I thought for sure that was going to be cleared by Rare there, but a nice little bumpy bump to secure a first goal within 30 seconds. So similar to last game, a lot of blood going to be drawn early, and almost just an absolute bullet into the back of the net. Not going to happen just yet. There's so many people around the box.
And I actually prefer this. I love the messy attitude that comes with this, because it does signal that the teams are more than ready to scrap. Maybe the playbook isn't there. Maybe we're not seeing that 1-2 touch or anything like that. The passes come out. It really just does mean the players are more than ready to go ham. I love this call. So go ahead, get messy with it. If you have to scramble for a ball, go for it. If you have to pop a 50-50, so be it. Don't always feel like you have to go for those big plays. Sometimes you just got to wait for an opportunity. And at this point, it might be a chance of Ray are going to go up on high. And keep in mind, this is Kearns that were able to field that first goal. They want another one, though. It's a high ball to the sidelines. And Wingate is going to go ahead and hang on to that one. Watch freestyle off the sidelines once again. This time, though, not really having that in.
Oh, nice center. Just barely Wash freestyle picks up the brace for himself. 2-0 in favor of Kearns. They got some of that MJ's secret drink in the locker room for this game and coming out swinging.
I may have spoken too soon. Wash saying, hey, there was an angle. Don't doubt me in there. All right, I see you, Wash. I see you 100% right now. 2 goals for this Kearns Academy. And Messi's still trying to set it up, and that's why you follow up. Rare goes ahead and throws down a goal of their own. First a minute and a half, or minute 50 so far, and we have 2 goals on the board.
A bloody game, and I love to see it. 3 goals in less than 2 minutes. But keep in mind, in the last game, there was only 1 goal scored in the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and it was almost a goal right off kickoff. Got to be careful. You don't want to concede those easy goals like that. Little rebound off center of the ball, but is anybody there? No! That was so incredibly close, but nothing's going to come of it just yet.
Timing-wise, honestly, we're seeing everything just come like a hair close to a goal, and yet no one else is really able to follow up. And that's why I'm really keeping eyes on Washington style. All the goals that they've scored so far have been their own. But singular play can only do so much once you start getting soloed out, once you start getting singled out by the opponent. Washington style, though, saying, hey, it doesn't matter, I'm going to fight through the best of them. The side of Western still trying to throw down. It's only a 1-goal difference, which is more than enough to get through. And with this halftime already coming and going, I think it's doable. I want to see if they can ramp things up, though. A little bit of a slow dribble. Messi going to try and carry it along the ground, though, is not the option.
Not what you want to see. It could be an absolute bullet. Oh, going to be cleared by Rare there. What a save to help his team out. Ball once again in the middle of the field. Both teams trying to scramble. Easy clearance there, and it is a team game, as you were saying earlier. You can only solo so much for your team until your opponents realize your game plan. Right now, Western Guilford really need to work together as a team to even out the scoreline. And is this here? You're gonna get bumped a little bit, so it doesn't look like it's gonna be this one.
This is why I always like to talk about the adjustment factor when it comes to Rocket League. After a while, it's like playing chess. You're just looking to see how you adjust to your opponent, and the faster to recognize an attack pattern, the faster to recognize a sort of aggression or maybe defensive play, the faster it is that you can adjust to them and win out the game instead. It's all about making that move first and the proper move at that minute 15 currently down. That's the shot that you needed. Valcox is able to find it. A little bit of help from Rare KBM, it looks like.
Nice shot to give the team a little bit of a cushion. Now you are really sweating if you are Western. Yeah, you're still up 1-0 in this, you're still even out 1-1 if you lose this game, but you definitely don't want to give your opponents any wiggle room, any ground to stand on. You gotta get 2 goals in less than a minute and a half, which granted they did in the first game at the very start of it. Could be something here, but it could be cleared out by Washed. Nice save out of Valcox right there. The goal scorer for that third one. Doesn't look like anything is going to happen just yet, but the time bank slowly but surely ticking down. 2-on-1 action, not going to happen though.
You are the side of Western to score a goal right now. You don't want to allow this to go down to that 20, 15-second mark. About 30 seconds is usually what I say is necessary for a goal to come down. You need that opportunity, but look at the ball just sitting on their side of the field. It's not a good spot for it to be in. Quite honestly, Kearns are looking for a fourth. Pay them back in full for game number 1. With 15 seconds left, this is all but done. A little bit of a carry by Dudley as they hold on with this cart. Sends it high midfield of Alcox looking to try and chase, but that's grabbed by Wash, kicked off to the right side. It looks like that's all they wrote. Ball is going to touchdown, and Kearns goes ahead and ties up the series.
Kearns gonna even it out 1-1. That looked a lot better. They just looked so much more in sync with one another. It wasn't a solo effort. Granted, Washed Freestyle did look like they were having themselves a very good game, but it wasn't just them doing it all by themselves. We saw Valcox not only get a great goal, but also a wonderful save less than a minute afterwards. There's so much team cohesion into that. I mean, they took a break, they recalibrated themselves and said, all right, we know where we went wrong, we know what we need to fix, and here's how we're going to get it done. And now they even it back 1-1, and Western Guilford, now it's their turn to reassess and say, all right, where did we go wrong? How did we let Freestyle get so much pressure early and that we weren't able to contest with?
I think they may have gotten a little bit over eager. I wanted to point something out, which was in game 2, we saw at the beginning of the match, Western actually looked for kind of those opportune kind of blank angle shots. And what I mean by that, it was just kind of like, hey, I have a shot. Sure, I'll take it. Is it already covered? Yeah, it's pretty much covered all the time. But they're just kind of taking shots, no attempt at really bumping out the opponent. I wonder if that's how they got away with some of those earlier goals. Whenever you take some of those shots, they seem very simplistic, but those are also the ones that if you're an experienced Rocket League player, you're not expecting a lot of the time. Normally, you're expecting a pass or anything like that, or something like Wash did. I wonder if that's what changed. We see Kern, okay, they're gonna look for those simple shots. Let's go ahead and
Yeah.
protect against that. Make sure to have our defense shored up. And
Mhm.
that was the adjustment that I really like for game 3. I'm looking at Western to say, hey, we got to get a little bit more scrappy with it, get a little bit more messy. We had the demos in game 1. Go back to that same style, start breaking out some of what Kern is throwing down, and
Mhm.
maybe you find that crack inside of the armor.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you're at such a high level of play that you forget the fundamentals sometimes. It's
Yes.
like, yeah, it's like, oh, well, surely he's not going to try for this pass because or this shot because he knows I'm going to be here. But
Yep.
then it's like, no, that's exactly what I'm going to do because a lot of times that shot works and people just don't try it because they expect their opponent to be, at that same level of skill that they know that's an easy readable shot or an easy readable pass. If we're going to hop into game 3 and see, yeah, I mean, if you are exactly right, if these easy shots that Western are trying to take, are they going to, have any benefit to them, or are they just getting 20 shots and only could like scoring one of them? Yeah, it's good, you're getting a lot of shots, but a 1 to 20 ratio is not that great.
I would say like a 1 to 5 is like, okay, I know you're taking shots, maybe it's like 1 to 20 just shows that you're kind of like blasting it from downfield. And it's
Yeah.
not, it doesn't feel good. It's more, I don't want to see that over 3 or 4 angles. I want to see it done, I want to see it over like 6 or 7, not just ground, maybe
Yeah.
the middle and up. I want to see it all over the place. I want to see shots from every angle. So for that side of things, we're going to wait and see if they can pull this off. We need to see exactly what they decide to throw down, because right now this ball is actually quite, I want to say slow and quiet. That's a long ball shot, as Wash follows up on their own shot, but is not going to make it happen. Very nice defense set up by Western.
Yeah, Race was there to be able to get that save for the gang, but I think it's these shots from the around the halfway line that are just so dangerous because they're so high, they're so quick that unless you are already back, you have slim to no chance of getting that save. So you have to make sure your defense is on point, or else the enemy team will simply pick you apart. And I think this is the first game so far where no goal has been scored. And just as I say that, the good old Caster Kearns getting their first goal of the series. Oh my goodness, making me eat my words. A nice assist from Washed Freestyler there. And Kearns going up 1-0 again.
That is the fastest I've seen anyone cast a curse in that. I think that was literally a second later. And the game is like, all right, I hear you talking some again. Listen, let's throw down. And I like it. I also love the fact that everyone is stepping up. Last time it was freestyle, this time it is the game. It was a very nice carry, but it is rare to fire back, and everyone's getting a piece of the action right now.
Rare said, I heard what Pods was talking about. I want a piece of that goal action. I want an early goal too. It's just barely out of the minute 30 mark, but for all that it is, I will count it in there. So don't worry. That is an early goal in my book. And now it is 1-1 with about 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Can Rare or any of his teammates get on the board? Or is Kearns going to be the ones to take control of it? So far, nice demo onto Rare. I got slight numbers advantage. Can they do anything with it? Don't think so.
I mean, that's if you're willing to kind of speed up. Right now, everyone's playing at this kind of, I don't want to say measured pace. It's really only Watch that's gone out crazy. And that's kind of the interesting part of it. Whenever we see Kearns more than willing to expend those boosts, sit with almost 0 at a long angle play, they actually get a lot of value out of it because you see these dead balls stuck on the sides, and it's very measured pacing. But the measured pacing of, okay, I got to hold on to the ball, I got to make sure I prep my dribble, I got to make sure to get the teammates down the field. It gives enough time for the opponent to also come back, so we need to start seeing these plays executed at a faster rate if we want to see this 1-1 through.
Sometimes the slow and methodical play is the way to go, because if your opponent is seeing that you are playing quick, then they will switch to that as well. Then all of a sudden, if you just pump the brakes on them a little bit, it throws them off because they're expecting you to be in 7 places at once because you're playing so fast. But it is just a slow build up, some nice passes. But right now, could be a counterattack here for Kearns. It's actually just going to be cleared away. And Rare Could have a nice little pass here to the center. Is it going to be constant defense by both sides? No one is able to really get a clean shot off. It's going to have to be something scrappy.
Oh man, let's see what else we can get. We've seen these shots as well ramp their way up. Messi, for all that they did back in game number 1, is he with 0 shots and 0 assists. That actually feels really bad for them. But that's gonna be an attempt right there. Solo came flying in from the right side, but Watch ready to deny. Minute and a half left currently on this clock. The Watch is gonna try and carry. We know what Watch can do. Over one defender, can't get past the second, and it's stolen away just like that. Ball rolling on the sidelines here. Actually quite curious down to the left side this time around. It is going to be Kearns. Waiting for an opportunity to Gay though, seeing it fly right overhead, and that might be the carry in. Another great block by Val.
The defense on both of these teams is so well, but the offense is looking like it's slightly in favor of Western Guilford. Messi mode trying to juggle it as best as he can. Could be a nice little shot right here. Just barely hits off the crossbar. And no one is able to hit it, but it could go in. No! No boost. It's going to be a very slow shot. This is going to be easily blocked away, but that was the closest to a goal we have seen since the last one was scored by Rare. This one could go into overtime. Orbital, less than 30 seconds on the clock. Rare, that was a very spicy move, just barely getting it past the defense. It could be something right here.
Follow up, it could be there. What a challenge. 50-50 sits in front. It is going to be handed over to the side of Kearns, though, and Kearns is going to try and look their own way back. Another challenge out, though. You called it, Pod. I think this is going to go into that OC unless something happens here. There's going to be a roll in. Great stop once again. He's going to try and dribble. Holding up top, puts it to the side wall, gets a boost, feels a little bit bad. You see where they were trying to go with it, or we're still headed to OT?
Still heading to OT. Now it's anybody's game. The first team to mess up. First team to slip up in their defense, to just trip when they didn't need to, is going to be down and into series point for their opponent. And both, I think that was a double fake right there. I was thinking for sure someone was going to clear it, but Messimo does get the demo, so a slight numbers advantage, and Solo barely going to miss that right there. Had no boost for it, but it could be a shot right here. The rebound, not going to happen.
Oh no, oh no.
It's an open goal.
Rhea got it. Rhea found it. That was a chance ball, and Rhea took advantage. The Rhea open net. Look at this chase.
It was so far out of reach of Kearns. They saw it. Too much offense. Whenever you have all three of your players up near the enemy goal, there's only one thing in the mind of your opponent, and that's if we can get it past them. If we can get it past them, there is nobody able to get back for the defense. And now Kearns is in a little bit of trouble. Down 2-1 in the series, on the verge of getting upset. They had a first round bye. They haven't technically beaten anybody yet. I mean, they beat the bye round. I mean, oh boy. So now you are up against the wall. Your back is up against this wall, down 2-1. You have to figure out something. But that was, I mean, obviously it was the least bloody game that we have seen so far, but it was so much more methodical out of these teams. It was slow. It was steady. It was, all right, we're going to have these build-up attacks. It wasn't this aggressive, we're just going to start launching stuff and, hope it works. It was, all right, I'm going to pass here. I'm going to clear this. I'm going to go for this boost. I'm going to try and bump this person. I'm going to go for a demo. It was something where all these players were just working together in sync. And in the end, it was one slip up that cost Kearns the match.
Feels a little bit bad, but in an OT, I think you can still hold your head up high.
Yeah.
That chance ball, I think it was more of a 50-50 than a full clear, and it spiked the wrong way, and you're just like, dang, that sucks. So I don't want this game to get them down. I do agree. They haven't really won over anyone. They won in the regular season, not here in this match.
Oh, sure.
But I think you can more than willingly say that could have gone either way. If that had been dead centered on that side of the field, I'm sure that would have been Kern flipping it back. What you can't do is give up at the end. I want
Sure.
to see them fighting still the entire way through. This is Kern we're talking about. There's a reason they're the first seed. We need to see them come out. We need to see Freestyle get right back into it. I want to see, Wash get right back into it. I also want to see Degay also be in more route opportunities. I think one of the main reasons we saw that one goal come down is you were looking for those opportunities. Recognize that the other team is trying to play these set plays, interrupt them, start
Mhm.
jumping them when they try and settle that ball up, and maybe get a freebie.
Yeah, and one freebie, like we said, one mistake is all you need out of your opponent to take that game. And now, as we head into game number 4, it is up to Kearns to make sure they don't give away any of those mistakes anymore. I mean, yes, you said it was that 50-50 just went the wrong way, but I mean, you can't always rely on the 50-50s. You have to rely on what you do best, and that is play Rocket League. And could be early aggression. Is anyone back? Oh, I thought that was gonna for sure be the bottom corner.
Oh, that I mean, we've seen that before though. We've seen the ball literally sit in the middle of the goal before, and we're like, oh boy. But that's gonna be Wash to go ahead and carry one in. What did I just say? Wash is right back in the driver's seat. At least
18 seconds. That's the new. Actually, it says 24 seconds, but definitely 18 seconds has gone by. But you know, it's all relative. It's all relative. It's 1-0 in favor of Kearns, and this is exactly how you want to start this game number 4 to boost your morale, give yourself a little bit of a cushion heading into the rest of the match. But Messi mode, almost a nice shot on goal, but good clear out of Freestyler there, doing everything, the saving and the goal, and a nice fake out of Valcox right there.
it was kind of nice. I was a little bit scared that the fake wasn't gonna land. Sometimes when the fake works, it doesn't work, and you just go, oh crap, this is what can happen. Of course, that fake does shake up a little bit. The ball is still on the side of Kearns. Still the ones kind of waiting for that main breakaway opportunity. And Western are the ones trying to lay down this kind of offensive pattern. Just now getting 100 boosts, trying to set them up. They are going to gently hold this ball, dribbled up the right side, not going to be able to make it that ball.
To be cleared out, but the ball is still in the territory of Kearns. You got to be careful. Nice clear out of Freestyle there to give his team a little bit of a breather, get some boost, and be able to recalibrate themselves. But gonna pick up that boost right there. And now, for once, the ball is in the side of Western Guilford, and it is Kearns' turn to get some more offense. It could be a nice shot out of Freestyler from downtown. Nice assist out of Valcox there off the wall, and Freestyler bags himself the brace.
Not even a moment to lose. So midfield said, yo, I know this play. I've run it a few times. Let me take that shot. And it was beautiful. Now in the early stages, we are back to kind of this situation of a 2-goal lead. And Western Guilford have to figure out how they're going to come up with this, because that slow, methodical play is actually getting them in trouble. I wouldn't say in the worst trouble. As you said, playing slow can work. It's the amount of time that they're burning off the clock each time they do this. I don't want to see those 5 seconds used to prep themselves. They need to realize that they are the ones against the clock. Anytime you play slow, it's actually working for Kearns right now.
Yeah, Kearns are perfectly fine with both teams playing slow as long as it leads to 0 goals, because yeah, you might get a goal, but if it takes you 2.5 minutes to get that goal, I mean, then you're going to have about 15 seconds to make another goal happen. So it's not what you are wanting if you are Western. And being down 2-0 as we get out this halftime, it's definitely doable. You can easily come back from this, but you got to find those openings. The one-on-one Messi mode is going to get that save, though, and time is slowly but surely ticking down, and Kearns are more than happy with it.
I love the fact that Kearns are more also willing to, like that, go for those kind of random hits, the stray grabs of the ball, and see what they can get. And they always have a defender back in play, but do they have a second? No, they don't. Solo with the solo. Yes, Messi mode was allowed to get that assist, but let's be honest, that was solo with the beauty of a ball.
Always have a defender back, he says. Just barely gets it back. But yeah, I mean, that's what we're saying. All you need is one mess up out of your opponent. Not good enough defensive rotations out of Kearns. And now it is only a 2-1 lead that you have. One goal separates you from victory and a tie and potential overtime. And the last time we went into overtime, it did not look too well for Kearns. So you got to be careful with that. This is where your opponents like to be, just on this knife's edge. But as the ball gets cleared out, time is still in favor of Kearns.
Of course, minute 30 now looks a little bit scarier. You're sitting here going, this can happen, and Messy Mode able to score a second of all people. Well done, or at least the first. The first was actually taken a little bit by someone else, but well done by Messy to tie things up.
Messy Mode, knowing when his team needs a goal and secures it just like that. 2-2, minute and a half remaining. This is going to be a dicey game, easily come down to the wire. But right now, momentum is on the side of Western. They've scored the best 2 goals. Just as I say that, Freestyler from downtown secures himself the hat trick. Once again, nice shot.
Off a steal as well. It's just like, hey, thanks, enemy. Let me get that ball out of your hands. And those are the mistakes. All of a sudden, in the last about 30 seconds, we had an explosion of goals rock this game. I think everyone's starting to get a little bit antsy. Minute left on the clock, or a minute 10 will be what to play for. Solo wants another chance. You can immediately see kind of the speed up of the willingness to chase for this ball, and I'm actually really enjoying it. No longer are we trying to set up. No longer are we looking for the set plays. It's all about the chase, all about finding the window of opportunity. Solo tries to get it towards the middle, blocked off by the side of Kearns Academy. Kearns, though, so looking for their own. Wash going to carry it to the right side. Wash has been on one, as he said, to get that hat trick. This time around, though, Rare trying to carry it in, drops it over. Anyone there? Almost there. Solo helps out, and Solo ties it once again.
Solo gets that brace for himself. It is the Solo and Freestyler show in game number 4. Who will be able to lead their team to victory? They say, we don't really care who scores the goal as long as it's our team. 37 seconds and counting. This could be another potential overtime, but as we've seen over the last few minutes, there have been so many goals in open play that we can easily see another. Nice attack, but a good clear, 2-on-1, but it is going to be cleared back by Messy Mode. And Messy Mode now on the offensive. Give it to one of his teammates, Solo. He wants that hat trick for himself. Gotta watch out for him.
10 seconds left, and honestly, it's feeling like another OT game here, Pod. This is starting to get really good. That one, the ball pumps out, and it's gonna be scored. Rare finds that in the last few seconds. No way, Pod. This is not going down to 3 seconds left. Oh my god.
Rare said, I know what needs to be done. He wanted a piece of the goal action as well. 3 seconds to go. And now Western just need to have that ball hit the bottom of the field. Kearns could juggle it all the way, but a bad hit right there. And it is going to be a 3-1 upset in favor of Western Guilford.
My heart was set racing. In the last minute, I would like to point out a majority share of the goals that went down happened in the second half. Not just that. In the last minute and a half of the game is where we saw the lights come up for Western. And I want to point out their entire mental shifted. As soon as they saw they were down, they said, okay, we can't wait around. And I love the fact that they did exactly what I wanted them to, which was stop trying to set the play. The clock is not in your favor. You need to have that kind of all-star setup. Granted, it's hard. You can't always get a star to show up. But they went fast. They said, hey, go for the opportunities. Don't worry about trying to set it up. Don't worry about making it look clean. Go for the shots if they work. And they did. Beautiful job.
Beautiful shots out of it. And I could only, feel for Freestyler. Had such a great series, a hat trick in that last game, just putting up the numbers for his team, but just didn't have what it takes to finish it out. Played so well, in that regular season, but lost in the playoffs when it really matters most. And now we're going to see Western Guilford heading to that finals. We'll have to see who their opponents are going to be. It's going to be an exciting matchup. If we can see more of this action in the finals, it is going to be something worth watching.
100%. And I can't wait to see who it is going to be because we're, I think, headed over to the other semifinals here in a bit, right?
Yeah, so we'll have to see what the other semifinals is going to look like, and we'll be hopping into that here in a little while. We're going to throw it to a short break while we set all those things up. Don't look away from that browser. VESL, we'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Varsity Esports and STEM League. I'm Podsum. Over there is Orbital, and we just saw a heck of a series. 3-1 victory for Western Guilford over Kearns Academy. And that last game came down to the wire. I'm definitely hoping we see more of this action in this next series. We have two exciting teams that we could potentially see face off against Western Guilford, one of them being one of the other Guilfords in their region. So it could be Guilford v. Guilford for the Guilford Conference. How many times can I say Guilford? That is going to be the true test. But yeah, I'm definitely hoping we see more of this exciting action in this game, in this series number 2. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was casting some Super Smash Bros. Brothers Ultimate yesterday in the VESL, and the grand finals had a 4 seed and a 5 seed. There was nobody that was higher seed than a 4 in there, which the 1 seed got, I think it was lost 2-1. I think the 2 seed lost in the first round, and then the 3rd seed lost 2-1. Yeah, so many upsets all over the place. We just saw an upset. We could easily see another one here. So you definitely don't want to be that team that makes an early exit after getting a bye. If we head into game number 1, can STEM EC make it happen, or is it going to be Guilford finding themselves up against their Guilford brothers in the grand finals? STEM EC could make it happen, but going to be interesting. Some nice possession being had here. You got to be careful though. Don't want to get too close to your own goal. You don't want it to be anywhere near your side any longer than it has to. But a nice rebound as Momo Go Loco starts us off, and STEM EC take an early lead. Sometimes it is just the craziness, the chaos that is able to make it happen, and this could be bad right here for Guilford. Got a nice little shot here, a nice pass, almost going to go, but a good clear right there, and now a potential counterattack for Guilford. But it's going to be cleared out. Big Spen trying to get a demo, but going to be blocked away. A little bump right there. Never hurt nobody, but nice little chip over. An average Curse with the cheekiest of chips. I want to see this in the replay. Just right over everybody. That is a 2-0 lead. Wow, already. Said, I don't care how it happens, it can go to the opponents for all I care. If it goes in the back of the net, then I will take it. Now it's 2-1, so you no longer have that extra little cushion. You gotta be careful if you are STEM EC. You don't want to let Guilford get back into this game, and almost had it right there, but a nice save. Slightly in favor of STEM EC right now. Could be a nice little pass, but too many on defense. Had 3 players strong in the goal there. Nice pass to the center, but it's going to be cleared out of Spend right there. Going to juggle it up and trying to set up his team, but once again, defense is too strong. Doesn't matter whose team it is, but could see Loco go for another shot on goal, and Momo Go Loco gets another one for themselves. That's their brace. shot there, but it is going to be cleared out. Momo Go Loco just going to bump his opponent right there, make sure that he is the one who's able to make control of it. Nice block right there, almost getting a nice little goal in the bottom, but now it is STEM EC who are on the attack. Is anyone back for defense? Momo Go Loco is. 2 goals on the day for themselves, and now STEM trying to mount a counterattack. EC, that's an open goal. No one back to defend. Momo Go Loco. Give him the hat trick in game number 1. A nice pickup right there, and that is 4-1 in favor of STEM EC. This game is surely all but over. Goals in 38 seconds. It's about 19 seconds per goal. If you can make it happen, you have to go quick if you are Southeast Guilford, but I believe they can make it happen, but gotta be methodical, but also quick. 30 seconds to go. Already losing your time bank. The aggression is still mounting for STEM EC, though. They do not want to give you any type of advantage, any type of opening to mount a comeback. 15 seconds, you gotta go quick, but nothing is coming just yet. The defense just too strong. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think this one is, I mean, just you said it, at that reset game, just say, all right, just shake it off. It's one game. It is a series. Gotta win 3. If you drop one, that's okay. Not what you want to do, but if you drop one, it is okay. There are more games to be played and more time to be had. So it was the Momo Go Loco show for that first game, though. 3 goals in the first game. We'll have to keep our eye on Momo Go Loco in the second game coming up here soon, and see if that aggression was just a one game occurrence, or was it something that that he is most definitely the star player of this squad. But it was definitely team cohesion. It wasn't just, I mean, I'm praising him as much as I can, but it wasn't solely, him just carrying his team to victory. The defense was just stellar, only conceding 1 goal in the entire game. Let you know that they came to play. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I will acknowledge I made a mistake. It was 2 goals conceded in that first game. I thought it was only 1, but yeah, it was 2 goals. Big spend, got one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why I like that. That's why like I kind of forgot about it because it's like, oh yeah, Big Spend did get one with about 38 seconds remaining. But can Southeast Guilford, can they figure out, okay, how do we control this? How do we make sure that these flashy shots from downtown are not being so easily activated by STEM EC? Because we were talking about it in the previous series. Yeah, sometimes it is the basics that work. You don't have to do some crazy RLCS level, you know, tech to score a goal. Sometimes it's, hey, just do a little 1-2 pass. Hey, just shoot it in this side of the goal. They never have a defender there. It's always something that you can learn to nitpick your opponent about. And in this game number 2, if STEM EC can abuse that again, they will be 1 game away from heading to the finals. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, utter chaos is sometimes what needs to be done, because if your opponent is just playing very fundamentals, playing very team cohesion, just those small disruptions can really throw them off, because one player might not entirely communicate that to the rest of the team, and then all of a sudden it's everybody who is confused, when in reality all you did was affect one singular player and everything else fell into place. And in this game number 2, if we can see that happen out of Southeast Guilford, can we abuse our opponent's mistakes a little bit more? Can we find the ways where they are, you know, not necessarily the best? And we hop in right here. Is going to be up to Big Spend and the gang to try and find the equalizer. Another. This is and look at that average curse picking up right where they left off. That is an easy goal for them, a nice pass out of X Tally right there. And Guilford either not learning to abuse these mistakes, or they're just simply not finding these mistakes. Nice early equalizer by Spinoff right there, making it 1-1. It's exactly what you need for your team morale to be boosted. You don't want to give over too many too early, because then it can really just destroy your mental for the rest of the game and make you too tilted to try and mount that comeback. But you see Big Spend here, a nice pass to the center, and CB. This is the first lead that we have seen for Southeast Guilford. Can they hold on to it with a little under 4 minutes to go? Loco, the 4th goal for him on the day. Having an absolute stellar performance. Four goals over an entire series is, you know, stellar for any given player. But 4 goals in 2 matches is so incredibly impressive. Right now, both of these squads trying to find the goal to set them over. Average Curse getting a demo onto CB and just going to maintain possession for the time being. And X-Tally wants a piece of it. Is that an open goal from downtown? Average Curse gets the demo and then just makes it happen for the team. Spinoff just barely missing the clear. That's rolled into the bottom right corner. Barely missing the corner, and this shot getting right centered, and Average Curse wants the hat trick for himself too. A hat trick for Momo Go Loco in game number 1, a hat trick for Average Curse in game number 2. Everybody from STEM EC wants a piece of the action. Both of those defenders just flying by, not able to clear it. Granted, the goal lead is still in favor of STEM East T, but 1 goal is a lot more manageable than 2. Hit your opponent. There's no fouls called in this game, so that is perfectly legal. All legal in Love and Rocket League. And right now, STEM trying to mount the attack, trying to just keep the ball on the territory of Guilford. And is it going to matter? Can they get anything going? But nobody has any boost, so they're all just flying around, and Big Span gets a demo and then is demoed himself. Right now, Average Curse 2v2 until those respawns come back, and yes, they are. Nice little shot here. Could get the pass off. Could be cleared by Momo Go Loco. That was the best possible chance that Guilford had to equalize there. CB gets demoed. Big Span trying to snatch the ball away. Is there anybody back for this defense? Yes, there is. Less than 20 seconds to go. You have to mount your attack now. You have to center the ball. You have to get a good shot on goal, none of which I think are going to be done just yet. 10 seconds to go. CB trying to keep it in the air as long as he can. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. The timer's going down. The ball is going to hit the ground, and STEM EC go up 2-0 in this series, 1 game away from sweeping Northeast Guilford. No. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it definitely felt so much closer. And that score line, yeah, 4-3, it makes it look like it was so close. And yes, it was very close, but STEM EC were just slightly in more control. They slightly had the better offense, slightly had the better defense. And you don't need to blow out your opponent 10-0 to make it known that you are just the better team. Sometimes these wins do come down to the wire and you just bested your opponent. If both of these squads, played 100 games against each other and had games like this, they would probably end 50-50. But right now, it is STEM EC's tournament. They are winning it 2-0 so far. Gotta win 3. And Northeast Guilford, their backs are truly up. This is even worse than what we saw on the other side of the bracket with Kearns. It's like, no, not only do you have to win one game, you have to win 2, and then you have to win 3. You have to reverse sweep your opponent. And that is always the most daunting of tasks to ask any team to do in any game. Yeah. 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 Hmm. Yeah, and as we head into game number 3, you got to pick up something. I mean, you're not able to call timeouts. You're not able to, you know, give yourself a rest in between it. These transitions from game 2 to game 3, that's your rest. That's your time to figure out what needs to change. And so far, Northeast Guilford have a lot that they need to change. Definitely conceding an early goal would not be the way that you would want to go about it. Ball's in the center right here, but scoring early would be very nice. Momogo Loco gets the save right there, and the ball's still very much in the territory of STEM, but all 3 of their players mounting an attack themselves. All 3 on this right side. Can CB clear it out? Gotta be careful here. Nice. Just barely missing by Tally right there. Not enough boost, but that's it right there. Average Curse picking up right back where they left off, scoring an early goal. 3 minutes and 43 seconds. That's what you want to see if you are STEM EC. Yeah, I don't know if that was what STEM were planning on doing or if all of them just happened to miss simultaneously, because that was almost a very fatal mistake. Could have evened up the scoreline 1-1, but the post is the savior of the day. Ball is centered, but just a little bit too high. Tally not able to get a good enough shot on it. Does have to retreat back for defense. About to come across the halfway mark. STEM EC still with that 1-goal advantage. Almost a nice little chip over, but CB with a good save. Spin off, trying to find any action. The ball in the center of the field. No one able to hit it for STEM EC, but now all of them are up close and personal. Shot on goal. A nice save, though. Not a big spin. Demo on the Momo Go Loco, though, saving the potential 2-0 deficit. And it feels like STEM EC are playing a 4v3 right now. The goalpost being their fourth player is doing so well on the defense. It's already 2 saves for that goalpost. The right one specifically, but Big Spend says, I don't care about any goalpost. I'm just going to drive it in myself. And it took long enough, but the equalizer is here for Northeast Guilford, and STEM no longer have an easy track to the finals. They have to find another goal to set them above. That might be Tally's first goal of the day. I'm not sure if they got one in any of the prior games, but almost griefed by his teammate right there as Loco was sliding in and almost blocked it. But 25 seconds separate STEM EC from the clean sweep and the finals. And it looks like Northeast Guilford have to quickly think of a game plan. You gotta go, you gotta find something, and this is definitely not the way you wanna start it. 20 seconds and counting. They're mounting the attack, 10 seconds to go. Does anybody have any boost to make a plan happen? The ball is cleared out, and that should be all she wrote. 2 seconds to go, Spinoff gets a demo, but doesn't mean anything. No, STEM EC gonna get the clean 3-0 sweep and find themselves in the finals. That was a dirty 3-0. That was a That's right. That's right. Ah, yeah. Yeah. Mhm. They did. Mhm. STEM EC came in. They started out just swinging. I mean, it was always in their control. I don't think there was really a single time where it looked like it was undeniably in control of Northeast Guilford. Yes, there was times where Northeast Guilford were leading, but that lead that they had, it didn't look like, all right, this is a commanding lead. It was like, all right, this is, we just barely got ahead, and we're gonna try and hold on to it for whatever length of time that we could. And even when they did get that lead, we saw that it was quickly, swept out from under them, and they were the ones to take take that goal that they conceded, and now the score's even, and now you're losing, and now you lost the series. And Northeast Guilford, I mean, did so well in this regular season, but just weren't able to close it out. Sad. Yeah. Hmm. 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 There's a high chance. The action is so palpable. You can just see all the game plans that these two squads are going to be taking. And these game plans consist of quick, fast goals and just working together. And because keep in mind, two different players had a hat trick in that 3-0 sweep. That can happen, that two different players have a hat trick in 5 games. But to have it in 3, there was less games that didn't have a hat trick that did have a hat trick. So and it was a hat trick by Average Curse and a hat trick by Momo Go Loco. So Tally, sadly, my friend, you are not on that board for the hat trick celebration. But still, it was known that there's more than one player that can put up these numbers. It is multiple people that are capable of scoring goals, of making these assists, of making these stellar defensive plays. That if you are Western Guilford, yeah, I mean, I would be scared. This is a talented team that is coming into this grand finals with a 3-0 against the number 2 seed. Granted, Kearns was the 1 seed, so Western Guilford still have, their own, you know, merits that they can flex. Like, yeah, you guys beat the 2 seed, we beat the 1 seed, but STEMI C didn't drop a game, like you said. So this is going to be a heck of a grand finals. And if I remember correctly, the grand finals are going to be streamed on the main channel. Correct me if I'm wrong, Orbital, but I remember I was told that. Yes. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and that's what I love about watching these young talented players, because I have seen collegiate level talent, I have seen professional level talent, but seeing these players work their way up in these smaller leagues to be able to show themselves that yes, we have the potential, we have the talent and the prowess to make it happen. And it once again, it wasn't just a single player performance. It is a team performance. All these players are playing so well together, and with one, and passing the ball, not just trying to do every single thing by themselves. Yeah, there were some nice flashy solo plays on both sides, but that's not what these professional teams or college teams are looking for. They're looking for, can you play good and can you play as a team? And I think all of these players really do fit that bill. But that will do it for us here in the caster booth. Orbital, any closing remarks before we close it out? STEM EC coming for blood, says Orbital. But Only way to find out the outcome is to tune in to that grand finals. Like I said, that is going to do it for us here at the caster booth. I have been Podsum. Over there has been Orbital. We hope you all have a great rest of your evening.